Alrighty, fellas. Good morning, good morning. What's up? Welcome to PokeMMO Stream Recap 157. Shiny Wars Day, I believe 32, just over the halfway mark. I'm checking this Alpha EV Swarm actually in the background. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe get some crazy rare shiny. We'll see. It's always possible. The more alphas you check, the more you get that one day maybe you'll get it, right? Today, as you've seen, I've done over 10,000 encounters off stream, so I will have to do some punishments today, including a randoms PvP game, as well as opening a mysterious ball, and I'll also be making some eggs, including alpha eggs. I'll be opening mysterious balls, making alpha eggs, even taking a break. Guys, the rare, I'm taking a break. A one-day break, probably, from Cryogonal, okay? Because Cryogonal Jail making me lose my mind just a little bit, okay? Just a tiny bit. Okay, here's a Jolteon check. No Shalfa. I'm gonna be heading over to one of my most beloved shinies in all of Pokemon. My favorite shiny my first shiny that I ever got in any Pokemon game, which is Shiny Sandslash. I love Shiny Sandslash. Johto actually gave it a new best spot. So heading over to Johto, there's a new 100% spawn rate ×5 horde that doesn't require any Leppas, and honestly just saving money on Leppas will be a massive W. If I get a shiny Sandslash, it's not the best for the war points, unfortunately, but it'll be a shiny that I love, and it'll also give me motivation to shunt that much more efficiently, and also shunting for free will be a little nice. Even someone as myself, who's been playing the game for a long time, has a fair bit of net worth. It doesn't feel good, even to players like myself, to burn through Leppa berries. I know, dude, burning through Leppas is a scary feeling. Losing all that Pokeyen, it can hurt, okay? I get it. I super get it. Now, I believe the Sandslash spot is over here, like at the Elite Four. If we bike down, straight down to here, we should be able to Sweet Send. It should be ×5 hordes of Sandslash. Awesome. Let's see if we can get something today, fellas. What's up? What's up? Good morning. Good morning. How much Pokeyen should we have going into event season? I personally like to stock up around 25 mil. That's my metric. I think if you have 25 mil, you'll be able to do everything you want within an event. Probably not all three. You probably need to make some money in between, but probably 25 mil heading into one. You'll be able to do most things without, like, if you have 10 mil for each event, so like 30 mil total, you'll be able to do like 90% of activities as well. Like you'll be able to get 90% of things rather. Usually there's like one to three big expensive entities during events. You don't really need all of them. You can make your decision based on which ones you want. You can also get most things after. Like not every vanity goes up in price after an event is over. A lot of things like that. A lot of things to consider. Just really try to get as much as you can is the boring answer. But I aim for 25 mil personally. I'm shunting Kabutops with fossils. Do you have any tips? The main thing would just be to make sure you slowly buy fossils passively over time. Like, you don't want to rush to buy a shit ton of fossils. And you don't want to, like, feel pressure to buy a bunch at one time. Like, that's a shunt that I would just, like, super slowly buy. Fossils are cheap right now. I'd be really shocked if fossils are cheap right now. How much are fossils? Yeah, I mean, I guess actually comparatively to War, this is decent. They've been getting cheaper. They were at a 10k base price for a while, so comparatively to War, usually 10k plus. What? Not usually. During War, they've been 10k plus. A little bit prior to War. Usually fossils are around 6k for the lowest. It depends on the fossils, but usually Helix and Armor are around 6k. I've bought thousands of those for around less than 6k, around 5,500 or so. But they've been 10k plus for the event. They're definitely getting cheaper. I think that players are giving up. I think that teams and players are giving up and are stopping doing like expensive shunts like this, like fossils, which is sad. I mean, I really wish we had leaderboards so we could see how far and how close we really are to all their teams. I don't know. I'm just not I saw this in the RuneScape community as well, though, where like if you were behind X amount of hours, people would just say, oh, let's just call it and save our energy for the next week, which maybe even that is the correct. I don't like that at all. Like that is just like, that actually like boils my blood. Like I would never want to do that in a million years. Like obviously I'm doing like a somewhat suboptimal strat here, so maybe I'm a hypocrite, but like I feel like the mental gain of doing this like somewhat suboptimal strat but making me more excited to hunt, getting more into like the argument, right? I'm not a fan of giving up like ever. I feel like it kind of tilts me, honestly. But I would love to see a leaderboard to have more information on that, so people aren't like giving up too soon, right? How that affects the economy. Okay, chat, I'm sorry. I fucked up, okay? I clicked the wrong... We have this fate point system in my Twitch stream, okay? where if you watch the stream, you earn fake points, and I accidentally clicked the wrong outcome this morning. Every single day, we do a bet where if I get a shiny, you win points. If you bet believer, doubter, whatever, I fucked up, okay? So to make up for that, here you go, chat. I'm really sorry. I messed up, okay? I'm gonna give some subs. It's not crazy, but there you go, okay? I'm sorry, because I messed up. That's my mistake. And that's, I apologize. There you go, next ROM. There should be 3 subs in total. Sorry about that, guys. Here's the food take of the day, okay? Olives are absolute dog shit, and they are not an acquired taste. They're just bad, true and real, not an opinion, objectively true, based and true. Definitely mean this, not a meme, true. Someone said olive tastes good though, one of an acquired taste. I can guarantee it's not an acquired taste because about 2 years ago, I ate an entire jar of olives on stream for like a $500 donation, right? I can confirm and validify that they are not, because I ate that entire jar and my thought process was the same. I'm gonna eat this whole jar of olives and eventually I'll come around to liking them, and like halfway through the jar it won't be as bad, yada yada yada. I wanted to vomit. I couldn't eat for like 2 days. Like my stomach was so full of salt, and I was so like, I actually hated olives more than ever. Every single olive I ate was like actual pain. Olives are horrible. They're disgusting. There's no redeeming them. They're so bad. And I can't believe I made it so low that I only need to go 60k dry to eat one. This should have been like 600k dry. This is a massive mistake, honestly, on my end. But that's okay. We stick to it, boys. Alrighty, fellas. I do have to open one mysterious ball, okay? It is time. I did get 5,000 more encounters. So we're going from 339 to 330. I'm gonna keybind it so you can see the actual sprite run across the screen just in case I get a shiny. The sprite will be shiny on screen, okay? So nope, normal star you. That's it. See you guys in 5k more. Hey Pat, relatively new player here. I was wondering if there's a reason why Ghastlies, male Ghastlies specifically, with 31 HP or special attack are so much more expensive than other male Chaos Egg Group Mons with these same stats. Probably just because Gengar is a really desired Pokemon, which is funny because honestly, this is a really great talking point, Tom, because Gengar isn't that good in PvP, 7% usage, that's not bad, but a 48% win rate, that's not good, right? If I were to guess, it wouldn't surprise me if Ghastly's price strictly comes from casual players who want a Gengar for the storyline, right? It is that much of a, like, number one, it's almost like it's like the ghost type mascot for Pokemon, right? I feel like a lot of people think of it like that, right? Gengar is not that good in OU right now because the problem is it doesn't have Levitate, right? If it has Levitate, it's way too strong, and if it doesn't, it's kind of a little too weak, but it depends. It can pop up in certain metagames. But it's probably a mixture of people wanting, let's just check the Ed group actually. Chaos Ed group 31. Let's get rid of Ghastly. Yeah, plus you could just buy Dittos as well. That's pretty crazy. That is a significant difference. Let's do male Chaos. Let's do hide Dittos maybe. What if we were to hide Dittos? There's a hide Ditto button down here. Yeah, that is a significant price difference. 13k versus 6.5. I would bet money. Yeah, it's the only difference. That's how important casual players are and how much casual players affect the market, right? That's actually crazy that casual players just wanting a Gengar for the storyline, super valid, super based, can rise the price of something 6k. That's nuts. That's crazy. Like consistently. That's raising the price 100%, by the way. That's nuts. Would they remove Levitate for Gengar? That's a great question. They tried having Levitate on Gengar, I think back in like 2019. That you might want to check with Aukon or someone who's like played consistently to remember. I feel like they tested it at one point. It was just way too strong. Levitate giving Gengar another giving it another resist or immunity, essentially, like being able to switch on EQs for free was just way too good. It can already switch in on a lot because it's Gengar can already switch in on being a very powerful offensive Pokemon that can switch in for free against normal types, against fighting types, get up a free Nasty Plot, get up a free Toxic Spikes, get up like something like that, right? I'm pretty sure you can learn Toxic Spikes, or get up like some sort of pretty sure you can learn T-Spikes, right? Yeah, it can. Being able to switch it literally was like, or Will-O-Wisp or some shit. Like, it became so hard to answer, and as long as you played it well, it became like you always got value. You always got something, and it was so unbelievably strong. So it having levitate was a little too much. A little too much. Yeah, it's tough because, okay, the reason I'm feeling so burnt in PokeMMO right now is not even the amount of hours that I'm playing. I love playing this game. I love it so much, and I feel guilty for feeling so burnt, but I honestly, this is some of the most burnt I've been in a long time in the game. And it's because I can't switch activities. That's what like, Shiny Wars is hard for me because my favorite thing about PokeMMO, and like the same with RuneScape, right? With RuneScape, if I'm bored, I can switch up the activity. I can go do mining. I can go do smithing. I could go do PVM. I could go do PvP. I could do something I've never done before. I could, whatever. Right? In PokeMMO, I can go EV train. I can go XP train. I can go make competitive Pokemon, breed for profit, flip shinies, breed alphas, shalfa check, like do times 5 hordes, do fishing. Like, there's so many things I can do normally, but during Shiny Wars, like, I'm in Cragnal jail, and just doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, and not being able to change activities. That's what's hurting me the most, honestly, during this grind. That is tough for me. Dude, the saga of no competition continues. I mentioned this guy in a stream recap recently. I'm pretty sure, no comp, you were the guy who got the Shalfa Persian in the middle of a CSGO game, correct? And then you ended up getting like 1 or 2 more shinies that stream. And then the next day, he's gotten 5 shinies in 3 days. One of which was a Shalfa Persian. One of which is a Zorua. That's insane. You're making me want to go hunt Zorua for a bit, dude. That's actually so cool. That's actually so crazy. Let me finish up this inventory of Sweet Sense. Let's go to Zorua for a little bit, guys. Okay, for those who have never seen a Zorua shunt, it's a really, really interesting one. So I think it's honestly worth showing. Now, I will say for the Zorua shunt, I do have to only hatch 4 eggs at a time, because I have to have reactive gas wheezing. Like, that's the most important part of this hunt. Zorua's damn near an egg hunt. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, 4 eggs at a time or just don't egg tick are your options. Yeah, valid. So for Zorua, I always go the wrong way. I'm used to doing I've done Trubbish a lot there. For Zorua, you want to head up to this forest, to the east of Nimbasa, and you have to lead your party with a reactive gas wheezing, and you have to just hope that one of these is a Zorua in disguise, and the reactive gas wheezing will what's it called? 5 eggs if you go nest ball. The problem is you need a sweet scent Pokemon, right? You need reactive gas wheezing, and you also need a sweet scent Pokemon. So I think you have to do 4 eggs. I don't think there is an alternative. You're hoping to see one of these mons turn into like a Zorua illusion. God, the battle cry for Venipede is ear screeching. Holy shit. That might be the worst part of this hunt. Oh no. Yeah, so there's our first Zorua. It'll basically say like the illusion has worn off, and you'll see a normal Zorua like this. But there won't be a shiny noise if you encounter one. Now, there is now a warning. Previously, there wasn't a warning. If you tried to run from a shiny Zorua, you just could, which is terrifying. But now they did fix that. There is actually a warning if you try to run from one, which is kind of cool. But there still won't be a shiny noise, I believe. I'm honestly not a huge shiny Zorua fan, which is kind of funny that I'm here. But I do kind of like shiny Zorua work. I feel like I'm one of the few people. I think most people would keep it a Zorua. I would definitely evolve mine into a Zorua arc. I hard prefer the purple. Hey Pat, even though you don't play competitive PokeMMO like PvP, what are your thoughts on future legendaries such as adding the Genie Trio, Reggie's, Justice Trio, and such? I mean, since I don't play PvP that much, I don't really have strong opinions regarding the PvP stuff because I just don't have the experience. I don't want to talk out of my depth. The Genie Trios, I mean, that's a pretty like, I kind of am a little red flag about that. Obviously, Lando T is probably one of the craziest mons to ever be introduced into Pokemon PvP in general. The Reggie Trios, I think, are one of the most inoffensive Pokemon they could add. I think the Reggie Trios would be totally fine. I actually see no issue with them personally, but maybe I'm missing something. The Justice Trio, that's like Terrakion and stuff. Terrakion was kind of a menace, right? I feel like the Justice Trio would be a bit tougher. That I'd have to just hear arguments from the tier council and see. That one I don't really have much of an opinion on. I'm like apprehensive of certain things, but whatever people think. Even without the Therian forms, I think that was it Tornadus or whatever that would do like the T-wave spam. I feel like there are, but in Hurricane or whatever. I would, for all of those decisions, I would adhere to the tier council into what the PvPers, the top tier PvPers think. I don't like stuff like that. Is I don't really have like I'm not like my opinion is the correct one, and I very firmly feel like that should be the case. Like that is not how I feel on that stuff. Like I pretty much would just, I have like light intuitive feelings, but I would pretty much just adhere to whatever the tier council thinks and whatever like high end PvPers think. So someone asked, after 30,000 encounters, will you find a shiny? And the answer is no, it's not guaranteed. Throughout Shiny Wars, I've been 112,000 encounters dry, 52 or 53k dry, and then 22k was my next one. So 2 pretty dry hunts and then 1 wet hunt. Hopefully we see a wet shiny here soon as well. But you know, it's always important to look at binomial distribution. So regarding the 30,000 number, right? Without donator status, at 30,000 encounters, there's only a 63% chance you would have gotten a shiny by then, right? So it's like almost coin flip, like kind of a stretch, but like at the shiny rate, it's like almost only a 50% chance that you would have gotten a shiny by then. Like it is not that crazy. Like going 45,000 dry, not that crazy. 60k dry, like the odds of going 60k dry, right? Around 86 to 89% with and without donor status. Let's just do the with donor status, right? So there's about a 10% chance for you to not go 60k dry, right? With donor status, which equates to 1 out of every 10 of your shunts should go 60k dry. That's not that crazy. Like if you've done 30, 40 shunts, it means at least 4 of those should have been 60k, you know? Let's do the other, like the even like 100,000 dry. Like 100,000 dry is not that crazy. I know that, I mean, it is, but it isn't, right? Like I would never want someone to go that dry. Like it hurts and it sucks, but there is a 2.5% chance that you go 100k dry. So if you do 100 shunts in your shunting career, which is kind of up there, that's pretty high. That's like the high end, right? Then two and a half of those should have been 100k dry. So I think it's more likely than people realize that you'll go decently dry, or even think about it in terms of like player odds, right? If 100 players are all, so we have 1,500 players shiny hunting right now during Shiny Wars, right? If just 100 of those players are shunting, 2.5 of them, about 2 or 3 of them, should go 100k dry for their first shunt. And that's just for their first shunt, right? Let's do some crazy math, okay? So if we have 1,500 players in Shiny Wars, right? Let's say they all do, let's just simplify it at first. Let's say they all do 1 hunt, okay? So if 1,500 players all do 1 hunt, that means that 15 times 3 or so, we'll average it. 15 times 3, if 1,500 players, all the players in Shiny Wars all do 1 shiny hunt, 45 of those players should go 100k dry on their first hunt. How crazy is that? Like that's math. Like it's not that, there's a lot of people that shunt. It just happens. It just happens. It's actually not that absurd, but it's still rough. It still hurts. It's still rough, but it's not that absurd, right? Hey Pat, I'm up to 500 eggs per batch. What's the highest number you've seen? I've seen 600 eggs a batch, which I've never been able. My peak for reference, guys, is like 437. I am not the mechanical Osu player Giga Chad. Egg hatchers get crazy, man. And I respect it, and I'm here for it, and it's so cool. Yeah, I've seen people do 600 plus with video evidence. I'll stick at 437 and be happy, man. That shit is crazy. This is one of my favorite. I love this question. It's a great question. If I listed a Pokemon on the GTL and it got insta-sold, did I sell it for too low? Possibly. Not necessarily. Sometimes it happens and someone just like mis-sniped or misbought, or I don't know, they just really wanted it for whatever reason, right? Possibly you underlisted it, but it depends. I always say, if you find yourself listing a bunch of Pokemon in your boxes and like 3 or 4 or 5 of your listings all sell back to back like instantly, I would pause and reevaluate, because you probably are under listing. If you like consistently your stuff is insta selling, you're probably under listing. But if it only happened once, you're probably fine. But possibly, but also that's just gonna happen, dude. Sometimes I underlist stuff. I forget a nature, I forget an IV placement, an egg group. Like price checking Pokemon is actually so complicated. that like even players like myself with 8,000 hours, I make mistakes all the time. It happens, right? All you can do is try to learn and keep an eye out. There's always more things to keep an eye out for, like particle effects, and like there's just always more things to catch. Specific species, like someone pointed out today earlier in the stream, like Ghastlies. Like I probably would price check Ghastlies as just like the egg group or like Chaos egg group or whatever, but Ghastlies with 31 special attack are significantly more expensive than just Chaos egg group males. And it's interesting because obviously Gengar is an OU, but he's not very good in OU. He's like actually not that good. I can't imagine the demand for PvP and PVM purposes is that high for Gengar. It's probably actually casuals who just want to do a storyline and have fun with their favorite Pokemon, like the average player, right? They're probably what drive that price up, which is really, really interesting in my opinion. People have made the claim before that if no new players existed, flipping wouldn't exist, and I actually super disagree with this. As someone who like sells a bunch of Pokemon, I constantly either will make mistakes, underlist things, or purposefully underlist things because I might need, it's pretty rare that I do this, but sometimes I need capital quicker, like maybe during this event, for example, at Shiny Wars, I need the capital quicker to re-put it back into shiny hunting. I will underlist stuff purposefully, giving people room and range for flipping money, so that I can sell stuff quicker to get that capital quicker. That's just like a sometimes is a need in the market to sell something quicker. That's like a very specific sale, right? I think that even if like all players were perfectly educated and in this theoretical world, I think flipping would still exist. There would still be people who would want to sell stuff for cheaper, like myself sometimes, to get quicker capital, or yeah, or just make a mistake every so often. It just happens. Very human, you know. How many encounters would a normal storyline run through all of the regions come out to? Great question. Me and my stream did a calculation on this like a year or so ago. We came out to that if you do ×5 hordes to XP train and EV train all 5 or 6 of your storyline mons, you only end up with around 2,000 encounters per storyline. So, that would equal, if you did all 5 storylines and did like the maximum amount of encounters possible for each, you would still only come out to 1/3 of the shiny rate, right? So you would still only come out to like 10,000 encounters. Storylines are one of the biggest ways that players build this false sense of I've done a lot of encounters, because you've done a lot of work. You've probably put like hundreds of hours in to do all the storylines. You have put in a lot of work, and I'm not trying to downplay that, like, but you've just been battling trainers, you've been defeating gym leaders, you've been doing all that difficult stuff, but you haven't really been shiny hunting. And if you go spend 150 hours just doing ×5 hordes, you'll crank up your encounters very quickly. So don't feel demotivated. Just have that in mind. A lot of people are like, I've literally seen people who will be like, man, I did all the storylines and didn't get a single shiny, and it's like, that's really rare, dude. Like that doesn't happen. Like I've never gotten a shiny during a storyline ever, and I've done so many accounts, so many storylines. It's very, very rare. It's very, 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 very rare. Okay, someone asked, hey, I'm new and I'm doing the Johto storyline. Are the Apricorn trees worth collecting? Most aren't, but honestly, pink Apricorn trees, like if you're a new player especially, dude, getting like 9k or some shit from picking an Apricot, that's really good, I feel like, as a new player from scratch. As a new player from scratch, yeah, pick the pink ones, and like the white ones I think are also good. The fast Apricorns. Certain Apricorns actually might be worth picking nowadays, which is honestly really cool. I would love to see these actually be good and actually be a moneymaker. The level ball, apparently red, maybe as well. Yeah, honestly, yeah. Honestly, if I was a new player, I'd probably pick all the Apricorn trees I could, just in case. For what are they worth money though? Why are they worth money? Because they're used to make certain Pokeballs. What the heck's an Apricorn? Apricorns are used alongside Pokeyen to create like the Dream Balls, to create the Love Balls, to create these Pokeballs. Like I think Dream Balls are really, really, really good, honestly. Love Balls are somewhat used for alphas and certain Pokemon. So, something like Fastball, like some of these balls are used for farming, for making other Pokeyen, so that's why Apricorns have that demand. All right, unfortunately, a lot of internet issues today and just Streamlabs crashing are going to bring the stream to an early end. You hate to see it, but it was fun shunting, was fun talking. Hopefully today's stream recap taught you guys something, entertained you a little bit in the background while doing your own PokeMMO grinds, and hopefully just added some positivity to your day. Like the stream recap if you enjoyed it, dislike if you didn't. You could always subscribe to me on YouTube for daily videos, follow me on Twitch for streams Monday through Friday, Discord's down below if you want to join that. If you want to go above and beyond and support the content, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo is super appreciated. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later, and just good luck in your PokeMMO grinds and have fun playing the game. Peace, guys. Hey, thanks so much for watching until the very end of the video. That really means the world to me, and it means even more worlds to me if you go above and beyond and support my content financially like all of these lovely people have done. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.